Hey everybody, welcome to another episode. It's Dave Mormon here on the Home Service Business Coach podcast, also on YouTube. What I want to talk about today is something near and dear to my heart, and that is all around systems. And I want to get into telling you, the easiest way that you can build systems in your business. But before we get to that, I first want to make a case just how important systems are in your business, because this is kind of what I've been thinking a lot about is in the home service space. Actually, a lot of contractors, whether you got a painting business, a cleaning business, whatever kind of trades business, you're probably not even problem aware right now that systems are a real thing. Or maybe you've seen some posts and you're like, yeah, I know I need to build them. But I think most of us have not actually had what I call our light bulb moment, where your brain starts dinging and you're like, this is actually a real thing. I really need to do this. And it's almost like until you kind of don't know what you don't know, right? Until you kind of have that light bulb moment, you're kind of consuming content like this, being like, I don't really know, is it even needed? So you gotta kind of see it for yourself. And I'm hoping through this piece of content, this short video, this short recording, you'll start to learn more about, okay, this is what we mean when we're talking about systems. And I want to show you as well, a bit later in this video, hey, this is kind of what we're talking about here when we say the word systems, right? And I've heard years ago, this acronym, right? If you spell out system, SYSTEM, it stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. And I just love that, because that's really why I started my cleaning business in the first place. Was two reasons: more freedom and more income, right? We all want time, we all want income from our business. And the third kind of flag to plant in the ground, it would be, you want to build something you're proud of. Or in my case with Revive, I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to help contribute financially to help the global water crisis. So we donate a portion of our revenue. That's how we got the business started. So whatever your why is behind growing your business, I can bet it'll pivot to freedom, income, and then thirdly is this impact, or it's kind of overused word, but a legacy play, right? And so systems are important in your business to save yourself time, energy, and money. But again, most trades business owners, we think if we're busy, that's a good thing, right? And I'm here to make this piece of content and kind of shuffle some of the furniture around in your brain and say, you know what? It's actually the ultimate compliment as an entrepreneur when your machine, when your enterprise can run largely without you. And I'm not preaching this, 2-hour work week and do nothing. I think your business still needs that heartbeat of the owner, but it is an amazing thing. And I'll share an example in a second. It's such an amazing thing when the machine is able to run without you. And so I think things are always best illustrated in short stories, right? And so if we go into my story, I got my painting business going in 2009, 2010. I was a college kid. I had concussions from playing soccer. I was a central defender, so I headed a couple balls too many times, and that sidelined me. So I got into this student painting opportunity, right? It was actually a friend of mine that picked up back in the day a CD-ROM, right? So put that in the laptop that night and watched this, short presentation. Said, hey, Dave, you can make 20 grand in a summer painting houses. And it was the most amount of money I'd ever heard about. I didn't grow up in a home that was pushing business and entrepreneurship and growing things, right? And so it's this new kind of way of thinking, this whole new line of thinking. And so I pushed into that, and I ended up signing up. And, it was pretty cool to prove to myself and prove to, my parents that, hey, this business thing's a real thing. I think I could see myself doing this. And over this series of years, I ended up growing that painting business and growing it some more. And kind of at least in college, the best part for me was in my fourth year, was building we did $315,000 in revenue, and I had $102,000 of profit on the bottom line after everything got paid. And I was operating in this 9-month window. I was so stoked. I didn't have classes to worry about. I could go buck wild on this business, and also could produce into the fall months, into kind of September range when usually I'd be busy back at school. So that gave me my taste of entrepreneurship. And like that last year, I wasn't doing much of the painting. I was doing a lot of the estimating and the marketing, working with our door knocking teams. But that was 2012, and that gave me this taste of this entrepreneurship thing that I went and laddered up to the parent franchise that owned the student painting companies, and I worked with them exclusively over the next 4 years, and grew the painting business even more. Ended up hiring an estimator, a production manager, had my crews running, and it was such a beautiful thing that literally Mondays, we have a coffee chain here in Canada called Tim Hortons. I would go and meet my crew leaders there for breakfast. We'd get these breakfast sandwiches, and literally I would give them their next jobs for the week. I'd give each crew about $5,000 to $6,000 of work for them and their partner to produce, and they would return me checks. It was literally like 30, 40, 45 grand of money that would exchange over breakfast for their next contracts, right? And so that was a taste of seeing more of this business that could, run with people. And it was a great business, right? I was able to make an additional real estate investment from the profits from that business. I really got into backpacking as well, and started this pattern where I'd go backpack for 40 days at a time, largely through Southeast Asia when we'd slow down in the winter months, and I'd leave, my crew to go do some basic interior estimates. So that was great. But it wasn't until 2016 I stumbled upon this beautiful book called The E-Myth by Michael Gerber, the E-Myth Revisited. And that showed me, Dave, you've built this great $500,000, I think our best year painting, we were around 550, 560, and like very profitable, like north of 120, 130,000 on the bottom line. And largely not having to do a crazy amount, but I was still the one, jumping out to do estimates. I was still doing the larger estimates. I was still meeting the crew leaders, right? It was still, I'm not saying it was a bad business setup by any means. It still functioned, but I just had never heard about systems before, being like, man, there actually is a way that like the owner could more remove themselves. And my biggest issue at the time was I was paying these royalty fees to a franchisor. And if you've ever been in a franchise, you can know that they're very legally binding agreements that you end up signing. And so I was in this deal that I could not go out and start my own painting company. And so it came to this point, I'm like, I want to, number one, build my own brand. Number two, I want to stop paying these royalty fees, because the royalty fees are high enough that I can actually hire a full-time manager to run the business. And so I got busy in 2016 reading through the E-Myth and starting to learn more about systems, and I wanted to start my own cleaning business. And that's when Revive was born in 2016 going into 2017. We did 89,000 in the first year, but I had all this knowledge of like how to sell jobs, and I'd never built my own brand before, so that was a learning piece in itself, because a franchise will like give you the brand, right? But for me, I had to kind of learn how to get a logo, how to rebuild a website, right? Get it professionally done, set up my own Google My Business. So it was still some new learning for me that I had to do as well. But it came to the point I started growing that business into 2020, into 2021. And, we would have $50,000 months, but then revenue would kind of come down. So it took some time to really stabilize. And it wasn't until a couple years ago, I started getting managers in place, right, to actually run the business, and an office manager and a sales manager and a production manager, and setting the business up to function largely without Dave. And it's literally at the point now that I'm in our office on every 2 weeks for the morning, and then I'm taking all of our team out for breakfast every second Monday to catch up with everyone. And so that's the structure of the business now. And I'm here to tell you, like, it only happened with having great systems in place, because I think that you actually don't attract great people in your business until you start to take systems more seriously. And everything so much is like Getting core values in place, that was a key system I made. Job site checklist, that was a key system. We got our CRM all set up, that was a key system. We have line items all built out for our custom made quotes, that was a system. We had a pricing book we built out to hit specific charge rates, that was a system. How we clean windows, we've changed our process a few times, but that's another system. What our office team says in the phone, that's a system. Literally even how we reply to our Google reviews that come into our business, that's a system. So there's hundreds and hundreds of systems, but like I promised you, like the easiest way I found to make systems is literally signing up for Google Workspace and building out different folders. So for us, we have a marketing folder, a sales folder, an operations folder, and inside that operations folder is like our safety training program, is our Christmas lights, how we, our stock for Christmas lights, everything to do with operations is in there, from like technician checklist, how we organize the van, it's in there, right? And so I started to kind of fall in love with building systems through, 2018, 2019, 2020. And I really wanted to like, not just build out a great Google Workspace, but I wanted to like test it in my business too. And it got to a point so much that we added a fifth core value for my cleaning business, and we call it Kaizen, right? Which is a Japanese word essentially for continuous improvement. And that's how much I love systems in my business, but also in my personal life. I'm constantly iterating, I'm constantly improving. I'm never sitting back just saying, oh, the system is done, we're good. Like, part of growing a business is falling in love with the process of actually diagnosing almost with a flashlight in your company. Like, cool, we just did, a $90,000 month. What went good? What went bad? Because again, it's not always just about growing top line for the sake of it. Like, for example, we're putting under the microscope our Google pay-per-click ads, right? We went heavier into this last season on Christmas lights, and I'm working with our team saying, what did we spend? What was our return? What was our conversion rate? These are all systems now in a business that as an owner, I can go in and shine a flashlight on and try and create some change with the team in an overall effort to make the business better. So, putting a big umbrella on it, like, systems are imperative to your business. And I want to stress the point in this piece of content that I would argue right now, how you're running your business, if you're like, all the contractors we work with will do, $100,000 to $300,000, somewhere in there, the owner starts to hit their head on a ceiling. And that's a system in itself, is all around your time management. And I think most trades business owners are actually pretty bad at delegating. And that's the only way to scale a company, is like create systems and then delegate the tasks that recur on a day-to-day basis. And it was like literally 2018, 19, a mentor of mine told me, he said, for your business, Dave, you could have the whole thing run paying people $20 to $45 an hour, give or take. And it was like, man, if I just valued the owner's time at $100 an hour, I could set up the whole business to run without me. And I think most owners don't go through that mental exercise, and they just keep doing the estimates, they keep doing the cleaning, they keep doing the scheduling on Jobber because they can't find good people. And it's just like, you just keep going back, right? There's like a proverb, I think in either Proverbs or Ecclesiastes, it's like, a fool will continue to repeat the same mistake over and over and over. And it's this weird cyclical thing where it's like, we can't get great people, so we dive in. But I'm preaching this the last 3 years, like, until you hit pause on your business and say, screw it, we're building out a better machine that's not going to always involve the owner. You can only do that when you first level up what's going on, what's the story you're first telling yourself. And you've got to develop yourself first to say, I'm firing myself from cleaning on this specific day because I'm so sick of being in the day-to-day. Or in my case, I'm firing myself as office administrator because the business isn't growing. I need to put someone in place there. You have to get so dissatisfied with your current state, you say, screw it, let's build a way better machine. Because like, you don't need to reinvent the wheel in the cleaning niche, or if you've got a painting business, whatever trade, like, successful trades businesses have occurred for hundreds of years. You're not inventing anything new. You're just tailoring it to your market and you talk to anyone with a successful company, it's all systems, and then it's building your people. But I believe people only come to you if you have your crap together and have some systems in order. So to wrap up and put a bow on it, I believe the easiest way to build systems, press pause on your business. Now would be a fantastic time through the off season. If you have a few months of time, you gotta get busy building out these systems in your company to save yourself more time, energy, and money, because that's what we want to get from our business. And I will make this offer to you if you've been consuming our content, you're like, this is really good stuff, I want more of it. If you find yourself in a state of busy, or you just can't sit still and it takes, you struggle to build out these systems, we've made a pretty massive pivot at my coaching business this last year, where in our coaching offer now, we actually build your systems for you. We actually build out 6 custom playbooks for you, everything from marketing to sales to hiring to operations to CEO to your office. We build all those out. I took all my systems I told you about in our Google Drive, and we brand them specific to your business. It takes my team and I about a month to build for you, but we deliver those to you in our program, and then we coach you through it and help you implement it. And let me tell you, this offer has been absolutely insane, because I've learned in the space, contractors are really good at doing the work, right? And that's great, and that's good. They're really good at meeting customers, booking jobs, but to sit down and build the systems, it can be really difficult. So if you're very analytical and administrative, as I tend to be, I love brewing a cup of coffee and making systems, but if you're kind of like the other 90% that just don't like that, then reach out to us to work with us, because I price it as affordable as I possibly can, that we still make money, but I gotta employ our team to build all this stuff for you. But if, we tell people come to us every day, they tell our team, you're the first coaching company that is the most authentic and genuine, and that's why we want to work together. And I don't want this coaching business to ever be this great marketing and looks amazing. You get in, you're like, man, what the heck is this? So we're going to build your systems for you. We're going to coach you to put them into your business. And our clients are telling us pretty incredible feedback. So these systems have been tested in my business. We've tested them in over 300 other companies, and we're growing. So if you want to see what that looks like, there's going to be a link down below. You can go ahead and check out. But if you just want to hang out on the channel here, check out more of our videos, check out more of our podcasts. We have hundreds and hundreds of hours to go and listen to implement in your business. But when you get to that point, you're done with all the free stuff in the top of funnel, that's great. You want to actually get your hands in and get something delivered in your business, reach out to work with us. And we don't work with everyone, I'll say that as well. So, but yeah, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you learned a thing or 2 or 3 about systems, and feel free to ping us up if you ever want to learn more. So have a great day, everybody, and thanks for watching.